Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Ruth Marquise. Your favorite realtor. Welcome to Ruth and Relationships. I am your host, Ruth Marquise, aka your favorite realtor, aka your favorite credit specialist, aka your love negotiator. I help men and women relate, get into quality relationships that lead to quality families, that lead to quality communities, that leave quality legacies. Let's build. Today's topic: are women today arrogant? Is humility weak? Are women today arrogant? Is humility considered weak? All right. I would love to hear what you have to say about this today. If you're on here, say hi. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay is going to be a banger today. So let's get started. Let's get started. Okay. So let me start. I normally when we unleash a new topic, I'll give you some personal experience with this. So you know how your girl's always like constantly working on herself and improving and working on just the past childhood traumas and past relationship just I have been noticing, like, oh, I see this person. I have no problems. I'm fine. I'm chilling. I could be around them. There's not a problem. Oh, well, they almost tried to take my life, but it's okay. No, I'm joking. They didn't. But my point is, that when you're working on yourself, it starts to be a lot easier to find out where you, like, I made a video that says, basically, if you're not in a toxic relationship, your trauma seems to pop out, right? So you'll say a comment or you'll act a certain kind of way, and you start noticing like, that was not really like I meant to say it, but not like that. You know what I mean? So I was on a date and I was like, I asked a question that was very arrogant. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so arrogant when I sit back. But I've been in a conversation where I was just like, you know what? I feel like I am for like I can be flexible. I'm flexible, so I can work for a lot of people, but a lot of people it don't seem like they work for me. I ain't never hear from him again. That's my It was funny. It was true. It was true. But I can see how if you don't know me, you would think I was arrogant. But like I'm just speaking from, real experience. So it's like when I look at the current situation and how women are and how men are and all of that, like I think that the problem with men is that they don't have good PR. That's why people are like voraciously defending men because women, we have become professional victims. We act like we're better than men. We, want to have our feminist tropes and put men down. We have hashtag kill men, like kill all men, like stupid things that we seem to think we're better. It's not even about like okay, let's put racism to the side. The sexism is real and it's heavy on the women's side. It's just verbally we keep spitting out a lot of things. Now you catch me. I'm like, girl, yeah, yeah, and we do get into the and then they start saying something crazy. But ooh, no, 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 right? Yes, some women do go through hard times. They have abusive relationships. They have situations. They do have to encounter narcissists. And but everybody's not a narcissist. Everybody didn't do you wrong, sis. You never talk about like my thing is like if you're gonna talk about how men have done you wrong, can you make sure you say what men did right today? Can you imagine a man getting online and just saying everything that's wrong with women all the time and never say a good thing? Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. And so when it's very hard for you to fix your mouth to say something positive about men, I think we did an episode on bitterness a while back. Like you gotta check yourself and be like, am I bitter about something? Because I want to get married. If this is for the people that are that want to get married, I would like to get married. However, um, I keep saying that all men are evil. All men. I remember being 18 years old, and I was like, uh, I think that all men cheat, and all men are liars, and all of the, like, they spit me out in the system just like that. So I'm gonna make my decision based on, because all men cheat. I'm gonna pick this guy. It doesn't matter if he this and that and the third. I'm gonna pick this guy because I'm scared. I'm so scared. Why would I go out there with all the wolves? In my mind, my 18-year-old mind, I was thinking that every one of them were wolves. They're gonna like tear me to shreds. Meanwhile, it's a whole group of men, a majority of men that treat women well, that would be kind. Like, if they don't treat women well, why are they giving them money? Why are they simping? Why are they doing taking you out on dates? Why are they paying for the dates if they're so bad and they treat women so horribly? But in your twisted little mind, you're gonna find something wrong with that. Oh, it's because he wants something. Oh, no, 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 not because you hungry and you want to go out to eat, whether you like him or not. Not because he was working all week long to pay for this date that y'all going on. You could care less about his finances, about his future, about whatever. You are just a strange woman to him, but apparently you don't really care about what's going on. You care about what you're getting out of it, but he's the one, like, even when he's being nice, he's mean. Do you see how crazy that is? Do you see how twisted that can be? I know crazy is a trigger word, right? I had to let that go because I had to say, I'm not crazy. I'm not. Guys, side note, guys used to always be like, yeah, she crazy. And something about us, we just like, what? Don't ever call a woman crazy. And so, like, when you start defending all women and start making every man a villain, something is wrong. America, Africa, Asia, wherever in the world you are, something is wrong when all men are bad, my friend. Well, who y'all saying I do to? Who y'all having kids with? Why would you even bother having kids? Why would you even bother if all men are bad? Is your daddy bad? Is your uncle, every single uncle, bad? All your brothers bad? Just by that state, if you really think about it, if they all are not bad, how's it just the ones you pick are bad? So it just doesn't make any sense. Like, we have to like stop being like, first you have to know you're brainwashed. First, you have to know your brainwashed. I could say I was. I could say I was. I believe that stuff. I believe all of the stuff that the feminists, we could do. I could do everything better. The second I started listening to the feminists, I broke my ankle, and at 7 years, y'all know that story, right? On the monkey bar, trying to prove that I can do what the boys do. I don't want to do what the boys do. Do you think boys is like, no, actually, low key, I think they do. Like, yeah, I wish I could put some foundation into some hair and make myself look better than I am, right? Low key, they might want to like be like us. Low key, they like, yo, you. It's so easy. I hear men say all the time, it's so easy to be a woman. Like, y'all just go on there and get naked and get money. That's so easy. Them, they got deep ditches. They got spray cockroaches. They gotta get on roofs. They gotta hurt themselves. I mean, if you really look at it. Like, my thing is, can you at least admit they have a point? I want the women to start speaking to me because you can't get delivered until you say, I got a problem, sis. I want deliverance to take place in this place. We got to be delivered from I hate men. I hate black men. How you the same level? You say, oh, let's just say, if you say I hate men, but really you're just saying I hate black men because you're willing to go to other races. How the freak does that make sense? Y'all gonna make me cuss, I don't cuss. How does that make sense? I hate men, but then let me try over here. Let me do. Come on, what did they do to you? What did the black guy do to you? See, I'm gonna get to this video, but she was saying how feminism has made us so overly sensitive. Overly sensitive. You think I get offended? I look nice. If I get hollered at, you think I get offended when I get hollered at? That's only for people that don't get hollered at. You get offended when you don't get attention, and you're like, "Why are you talking to me? I don't want to talk to you." But if it was a guy with a nice car, y'all seen them gold digger videos. Y'all seen them gold digger videos. Then the second, oh, now leave me alone. I have a boyfriend. Oh wait, did you see the one where he was like, Miss? She's like, leave me alone. I have a boy. I have a husband. And then he was like, I was just gonna say you have a flat tire. She looked right there, flat tire. Oh, well, can you help me? He's like, no, no, no. Go ask your husband. The arrogance. The arrogance is in the air. Just because we can work now, and it's like I don't know, like, have you ever just, I don't know, like your teenager gets a job and then they think that they running things? Mm, that's a good one. That your teenager gets a job and they think they the woman or man of the house. And they think their $168 check is gonna pay all these bills, do a lot of damage, and then they really what they're not understanding is like, it's not the same thing, ma'am. Sir, it's not the same thing. Then when they have to go pay the mortgage with that same check, then they got a real problems in life. You'd be like, oh wow, like I didn't know adults had to not like spend their money on Jordans and Yeezys, and I didn't know that that's what my check was going. Like that's what they used to spend their money on: food and whatever party lifestyle and clothes. And reality, grown-ups is really spending it on life, trying to live, trying to survive, trying not to be in the streets, right? It's a totally different thing. So now women, we get our jobs, and what do? We spend our money on what? Nice, flashy, cute things to post on Instagram. We drove past a building today, and they had from the top of their yard to the end of the yard all of these blown up things. The next thing you know, she's taking a picture with the front of the baby for Instagram. We do a lot of things to show off as women. Men do too. We do a lot of things to show off, but at the end of the day, let's pull the papers out. Did y'all watch Ruth in the Bag? Yeah, 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 yeah. Did you see the money show? Let's pull the paperwork out. What's your savings looking like? What are your investments looking like? Are you learning forex? Do you have cryptocurrency? Do you have invested stocks? And do you have a real estate property? You couldn't do that with your money. You with somebody, they paying your bills, but what are you doing with the money? So we have to step it up all the way. If we're gonna be this arrogant, so I'm gonna move on. Like if you don't believe me, because see this is I get mad having to cuss y'all out. That's real. Because I started this on your side, and I am still on your side. I'm on your side like a big sis. Like, listen, let's get this together, okay? Because right now you're doing well. I'm telling you, when you get to 40s and 50s and 60s and your back hurts, you're gonna wish today you had made a different decision and not be so arrogant. All the older women are saying that, like, dang, I wish when I was younger I would have made different choices. Do you know what it's like to live with regret? Anybody ever had something that you regretted doing? You made a decision 20 years ago, you're still paying for it. I don't want that for you tomorrow. I don't. So check it out. If you don't believe me, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you because every time I turn around, and I know it's like, at first I was like, y'all just taking random women. And listen, there's some very high quality women out there. They're quiet, they're low key, they're not on the internet. No. They're not out there like that, right? But when I start hearing everybody, once all these podcasts are popping out, I was like, that's what you have in your head? And then want to blame the men saying, oh, y'all not trying to marry us. Well, what's coming out of your mouth? Because what's in your mouth is what's in your heart. So they already know what kind of person you are by what's the words coming out of their heart, out of your mouth, if they're in tune and really looking for something serious. Now, if they're not looking for nothing serious, you can say whatever you want, baby, because he's not gonna stick around. All right, so let's get to this. Y'all don't believe me with the arrogance thing. Let me show you. And I like I said, I'm guilty too. Like I said a couple things, a woman like me. I said, I was running my mouth. I was like, dang, oh wow, right? You run your mouth with certain people. You just like, you know what, calm down, pipe down. Right? So check this out. Check this out. I'm gonna share my video. Guys, what do y'all think about this topic? I do want to hear back and forth from you guys. What do you think? Do you think that women are arrogant? And let me say this by the way, men can be arrogant too. But here's what I want us to do. Every single time I bring something up, please don't say the men do it too. Stop it. We're not teenagers. Like I have children, and then I'm gonna go into mommy mode because I'm gonna like, no, no, no. Just because Billy did it doesn't mean you get to do it. We don't do that. We don't compare ourselves to the worst version. No, we don't be like, they did it too. She hit me first. Don't do that. That's all I hear. I'm just telling you right now, that's all I hear. We have to grow up and be accountable because when you do that, you are preparing yourself to attract yourself to better people. If you stay on that low level, you're gonna get low level results. I'm just saying. All right, so let's move on. So that's my little So this woman right here was saying how it's really hard to find attractive men.
Find an attractive woman on Instagram right now.
Hold on.
That. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Pisses me off so bad.
Talk to me.
Is that the ratio of attractive women to attractive men is off. Like, if I wanted to go find an attractive woman on Instagram right now, I could do it in 2 seconds. If I wanted to go find an attractive man on Instagram, I have to put on my CIA cap, my FBI badge to find that dude. To find any man, because they don't make making pages. Dudes don't even post for real. What's the issue?
All right, there you go, guys. You just saw the video for yourself.
So she basically called most men ugly. If you look at the statistics, okay, I'm gonna start talking like this is what black men do, this what black women do, this is what all women do. Most women think that men are unattractive. That is what is going on the dating apps. If you don't get play because women don't find you the top, oh my gosh, he has to be gorgeous, right? If he's not gorgeous, then there is either one or the other, right? And his gorgeousness does not help you in life, ma'am. I'm sorry, sorry to tell you. And the Bible says that women are the fairer sex. So what are you looking for? Why are you looking for a man? Naturally, I've never been attracted to very, very pretty boys. I just don't, because I don't like anybody being in the mirror longer than me. I've always said that. That's where I stand. I'm with the Beyonce. Beyonce called him, I like manly men. You know, I like men that look like men. I don't need you with the cuts in the eyebrow. Like it's not to take away your fineness, sir. It's just too. It's just too much. Like doing too much. The pants got to be. Because what it does, it makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel like I can't be myself. I can't chill. I can't be in sweats. I can't do certain things, even though I'm not doing that most of the time, because you're so about yourself and your image, and it screams like, I'm not saying every pretty boy is selfish, but they have their place in what the behavior that I've seen over the years is they don't want just to settle down. A lot of them don't want to settle down, or you have to be around that guy, but he has so many options because all the girls want that guy. And you're not going to be treated like, even if you get him, he gonna be like, man, you so lucky to have me. And I'm like, I don't want to be with somebody like that. Come on. No, we're too hard for that. Can't just like me. You gotta love me. All right, so yeah, I wouldn't shoot for that, especially when they're in the minority. So this is what the guy said for this men are ugly thing, because I feel like that's so arrogant. Like we're made to be beautiful. We're made a certain way by the creator, and you want to go and talk bad. That's why when women start doing I know somebody that was like talking about ew. They get on the app and they start saying he's like I don't like him, I don't like this one, I don't like what's wrong. um I just be like, if that's how God made them, I ain't finna talk about nobody. I ain't finna talk about God's creation. I'm just saying. All right, so if you don't have nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself. We got things.
You said, hey, it's hard to find an attractive, but you don't.
But let me show you his reaction.
Currently in
He goes in. Watch this.
All right. Backwards, a bunch of lies. So guys, here's where things get really interesting. So we have a guy who actually responded back to that chick, and his response went viral. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
The ratio of attractive women to attractive men is off.
Take all the makeup off your face and post your face right after you get out the shower. That is how men have to walk around looking.
So hold on. Let me hold on. First of all, the fact that he didn't say you ugly, that's why you ugly. He didn't directly attack her. He was like, this is my plight. This is we just have to come out looking exactly the way God made us. That's one. So I'm sorry, but if I'm a ref and I'm on the side, I'm looking towards the person that is not being mean and aggressive like this woman is. This is what we have turned into, just attacking them for no reason. Who said like for you to sit there and say, I want to make a video about how ugly men are. Y'all being bullies for what? That's crazy to me. I'm sorry. That that's just nuts.
Drink that coffee. This man's preaching right now.
Made videos like this before, but I don't think y'all understand.
Talk about
that most women, especially most attractive women, put on costumes before they leave the house. The hair on your head is not yours. If a man has bad skin, he just has to wear bad skin. He doesn't get to cover it up with a different color of foundation. Women come.
heterosexual men. This is facts. This is true.
Toward their face to try and change the appearance of their bone structure. That is literally what makes you attractive or not. What your parents gave you, you camouflage that. Now change the color of your lips. Now wear waist shapers and slap 3 filters on after all of that and call yourself pretty. That
Mercy.
He went in. Okay? He went in. I ain't hear no B word. I ain't hear nothing. Ding, ding, ding. Round 1. So he won that one. To just attack them for no reason is silly, arrogant. So yeah, that was once I saw that, I was just like, well, dang, why y'all doing that now? That's crazy to me. Men always be like, wear your hair natural, this and that and the third. So, and here's another thing. So this is just that woman was attacking like just strangers, right? Pretty much strangers on the internet. But here's what is another interesting thing. What's her name? Just Hilarious. She's talking about like almost the love, dang near the love of her life, and what happened with him. And then you'll start to see. She's like, they asked her who was the best relationship she had, and she was saying, what's his name? Wayne. Country Wayne. But this is her response to Country Wayne. Watch.
I let him be on his house for a while. And Wayne is so competitive. I'm like, okay. And at first it was cool, it was cute. I'm like, okay, I gotta figure this out. Okay, challenging. All right, cool. We wanted to go on tour together. It was gonna be called Best of Both Worlds. You know, he's a clean comic. I'm dirty, I'm raw, I'm Baltimore, I'm East Church, he's Bill Cosby. Well, before the charges.
That's how y'all describe good men. Oh, he's Bill Cosby, you know, in a condescending kind of way. But yeah, keep going.
You know, it's like, all right, we co-headline a tour. You headline, I headline. Okay, cool. He like, but I gotta get X amount. I'm like, why? It's just like, just for one of them, man. 2 is you're my woman. No, that's not what we're doing.
All right, I just want to pause right here because number one, when it comes to business and money and all that, that's why maybe you shouldn't mix the two. Because yeah, that is a little sketchy as far as uh, oh, I get more money because I'm the man. Like, if you're doing business, keep it clean. You know what I mean? She might, like a submissive woman or a feminine woman will be like, oh, okay, honey, whatever you like in a certain way. But when it comes to like the money and being fair and there's 2 people, it's just like you're already getting that advantage. That's why I say I was in a scenario. I was like, you're already getting the advantage of me continuing to do what you would like to do. What we're not gonna do is split the money up and give you more. I'm a lot of things, but stupid I am not. So I'm with her on that one. My only pushback with her was she said, "Oh, we're not doing that." I was like, "That's how you said it, miss." You could say, "No, I don't think it's a good idea." Like how you say it, like y'all didn't have that lesson. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Yeah. So I was like, "Ooh, yeah."
The world has changed so much now that it's sickening. It's sickening how men are raised to be more soft-spoken, more effeminate, more laid-back, more accepting of foolishness. And women are taught, you don't accept nothing. You go out there and get your bag. You focus on what you need to focus on. Don't worry about it. Don't you never let no man take care of you. You put yourself in a situation. What you got to do.
Because you see, I sell out shows. I put asses in seats.
Here go the cockiness.
I could see if I was just starting out. I could see if I wasn't Jess. I'm Jess. Show.
See that? I'm Jess. Can you imagine? You're in the face of arrogance. I'm Jess. Can you imagine? Beyonce says that to Jay-Z. I'm Beyonce. Yeah, the hell. He gonna be like, but if you don't sit the hell down, there's a hierarchy, and some people don't accept it. I get it. She doesn't, and it shows. So that's why they're probably not together for this reason. Is it worth it? The question. That's supposed to be the love of your life. Is it worth it? You always keep talking about them. You still want to be with them, but now.
Sell him. He sells out, but
She gave me a little credit.
We're going to do 50-50 when ain't nothing. You can deal with that.
Why she say
And
that?
also, it's like, yo.
She said it's going to be 50-50. We're going to do nothing. She had to stand up for herself.
We're still good friends.
She can't even call him man. She can't even call him this man, this dude, this guy, this fellow, this person.
She called him the N-word. Like, ladies, I had to learn this the hard way. Like, I would never directly, right? But if you go to previous shows, I used to say the N-word a lot. And then I was like, I learned that they don't like the N-word. It's so disrespectful. It's something. Okay, so when it comes to slang, I get upset because I'm like, first of all, stop expecting women, especially feminine women, to know all the slang, because that's a guy thing. To know the latest slang, that's almost like the high schooler thing, to know all the slang first, right? And then it just trickles up to the old people. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. So to expect a woman to know what every little thing is, no. And so they can accept the N-word from each other, but from their woman, don't you dare let them hear you. Am I right or wrong, guys? From their women, what do y'all have to say about the N-word? Like, y'all still saying that? Like, we had to, like, me and my marriage-minded friends, we was like, we banning it. We just gonna stop it altogether because it slips out. Can't say bro and can't say the N-word. No more. That's what it is. That's what it is. But that is just you being considerate. How you gonna be considerate of everybody else? You consider of your girlfriend, you consider of everybody, your family, your mommy, your daddy, your sisters, everybody. But when it comes to your man, you're not considerate. That's weird to me. That's weird. I'm just saying, but I know what the culture says. You ain't got to like me, but you're going to love me.
Anything is better. Man, can you imagine your woman calling you that?
I know.
I ain't talking about telling somebody. Look at that.
So there you go. All right, so let's go into some definitions. Let's get to work. Let's get to work because that's what we do. All right, what is the definition between confidence and arrogance? So both confidence and arrogance are related to self-esteem. Oh, I like this graph. Or the way that a person feels about themselves. Confidence comes from high intrinsic value. Intrinsic meaning you feel high about the inside, like your worth, your value on the inside. Understanding that self-worth isn't measured by achievements, failures, or the opinion of others. Okay? Self-worth is not measured by the achievements, failures, or the opinions of others. Arrogance comes from a sense of superiority over others. That's what I've been telling you. I've been telling you, not only is it we want to be equal to men. No, now it's we're better than men. We're up here with our makeup, our lashes, our Instagram following, our money, our deals, doing things. Mind you, I told y'all that we get money, we got to use other ways to get money because we're not trying to break our backs getting money, but we can get money in other ways, and that money comes a little faster. So that can explain why some of the women are making bigger checks than some men, but not overall. We making the same or less than men. I'm talking about in general in the population. So for us to think we're better with our $40,000 average income, we're average earners, and we think we're better because we can get cute, and a lot of y'all get cute occasionally for the club, not for your man, for yourself, for everybody else but him. So why should he care if you're cute with makeup on when you're walking out the door? Why should he care? So the whole thing about being intelligent and emotionally mature is you can always put yourself in the other person's shoes. When you're not doing that, I think you're operating out of a level of immaturity. Yep, I said it. I can only take so much. I can only take so much. All right, so let me show y'all. Hold on. I love this chart. I think I'm a data freak at this point. All right, here we go. Look how pretty it is. All right, arrogance. Hold on. Here we go. Arrogance is the offensive display. Offensive display. Okay, you're willing to offend somebody of superiority or self-importance versus confidence is a feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. What does that mean? It's like if I'm arrogant, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you in my actions or my words that I'm better than you. I'm more important than you. But when I'm confident, I could stand on my square. I trust in myself. It has nothing to do with you. All right. Next one. Arrogant people will rarely own up to their mistakes and will try to put the blame on someone else. Watch this. Watch this. How many times have you seen? Y'all watch these videos. I don't know. Maybe y'all your algorithm a little different than mine. But arrogant people will rarely own up to their mistakes. How many times have you heard these women blaming men for everything? Everything. When y'all said kill all men, right? Hashtag kill all men. Y'all, they said, oh, it's because men have done them so wrong. That's like saying like automatically if you see a dead body and a gun, you're automatically gonna think, what did he do to her? Automatically, which could be fair. She was getting beat up on, but if we don't have the other side of the story, can we really come to that conclusion? So even as the perpetrator, the woman can still be the victim. Now, that doesn't take away from people that have been truly victims. I'm just talking about the perpetrators. Now, arrogant people will rarely own up to their mistakes and try to put the blame on someone else. Confident people aren't afraid to admit their mistakes and are willing to learn from their mistakes. You know what I realize about arrogant people? A lot of times they are closed-minded. Arrogant people tend to be closed-minded people. If you want to see the graph, you're just going to have to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Hey, Ruth Marquise, Marquis. All right. So make sure you do hit the like button, guys. All right. So confident people can admit that they're wrong. Confident people can admit that. Arrogant. All right, got it. All right, so here we go. Arrogant people, okay. Arrogant people often act as if they are superior to others. You can't sit with us. So there was a video that I was going to show. I couldn't find it though. And basically the passport bros where they felt like they was winning and all of that stuff. And instead of the women saying, no, we're gonna like work on ourselves, you're right. They just could not admit defeat. They could not admit that they were wrong. And then she said, well, we're gonna get a bus, we're gonna pack your stuff, and we're gonna send you a send off because we don't want you. You're just acting like that men are useless and men are fumbling idiots. Did you know that women the TV shows of the 90s like Homer Simpson, things like that grow in your brain like, oh, he's good for nothing. All the husbands were just useless. This is how they made the shows. It was never like he was powerful, he was amazing. No. So women really think like, oh yeah, if I get a husband, he's gonna be like stupid, he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that, and then they gravitate towards that bad boy, that that guy that they never gonna get. So you're setting yourself up for failure if you go by what everybody else is telling you to do. Telling you when you finally find a good dude, please stop doing this, ladies. Don't saddle. Telling your friends, don't saddle, don't saddle. If he's a good man and y'all click, what are you talking about? If she's old enough to know what she's doing and she's had experience to know more than what, like who what she's actually looking for, then you can't tell her she's settling. She knows what she needs. She's alone with that person, not you. So that's the arrogance of people just thinking that they can tell you what you should do. Not me. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just trying to help. I'm really just trying to help because I could care less. I'm on track. I'm on track. Whether I'm off track or on track, that's on me. But some of y'all don't even know it's a train coming. Don't even know there's tracks. Just off to the side while the train is moving. And I wanted to be like, come on, get on the train. Get up. Get. Come on. All right. So, confident people do not act as if they're superior to others. Arrogant people like to brag about their skills, abilities, and achievements. Confident people have no need for bragging. The one thing when I got on social media, it was post a picture and brag under. And I just was so turned off. I was like, I can't do this. Like you ever like Diamond in the strip club, like that's like I was like, I can't do this, right? I can't. I can't do this. I can't sit here and brag. Finally, I finally start saying such and such, and somebody's like, "Oh, I say everything's to God." I'm like, I can't win. If I ain't bragging about God, if I ain't bragging about myself, I'm losing. I gave up. Arrogant people always try to demean others and their achievements. Confident people don't do that. Arrogant people are not good team players, and confident people make excellent team leaders. Uh, Arrogance often stems from insecurities and fear, and confidence from self assurance. What is the definition of confidence? The feeling or self assurance arising from one appreciation of one's own qualities and abilities. So, this has led me to this conclusion. Women who appear to be arrogant have low self esteem. Low self esteem. You're trying to compensate for something that's not good about you. You want to put somebody down because you have low self esteem. You don't believe in yourself. You have given up and said, I'll never have XYZ. So now I might as well go on a hunt. I might as well attack everybody. Let me join the bandwagon, this and that and the third. But it's that. But if you're a woman or man and you're like, okay, this is what's going on. This is the problem. Let me have compassion and let me try to get through. So video is not too bad. It's to say, hey, I understand. Like I was telling my therapist, I was like, listen, like I still have to go through high school stuff every day. If I'm at the checkout and these girls don't like me at the grocery store, I had to deal with them. I gotta still deal with the eyeballing and the checking each other. And like you can't be weak. That's what I'm saying. Humility is weak. In our culture, it's weak. Being humble is weak. Smiling, being nice, saying hi, saying that's a nice dress, that's a nice shoe. That's a big deal. One of the girls was saying on a panel, she was like, well, she's like, the reason why she said she don't dress for men, she dress for other women, is that men are always going to give you the compliment, but when another woman gives you a compliment, it's such a bigger deal, which I can agree with because they don't do it that much. Right? So, but at the same time, if you are actually single or actually looking, then you do it for to get attention so you can find that person. Like that's common sense. Nobody wants to admit it, but I just said it. So there you go. Let's see what is next. All right, so let me close out with one more, and I love this antidote to feminism. I was just trying to figure out how do we get from this disease. Okay, thank you for the vote. Thank you for the other things that feminism brought me, but you can stop here and get off the train. Thank you. Because whatever else y'all doing right now is destructive.
What is humility? Does it mean being self-loathing? How about doing verbal gymnastics to avoid accepting a compliment? Or being a doormat and letting everyone walk over you? No, it's actually none of these things. And what does this have to do with feminism? I'm sure you're thinking, but Zimmy, I always thought feminists were the most selfless and humble of the social justice warriors.
I am the feminist who is out to ruin your life.
Well, I hate to ruin
Why they so mad? That's scary.
idyllic thinking.
You don't, if you're a feminist and you like that, like, you don't seem like a happy person. I like to be around happy people.
Yeah. But feminism has basically taken natural female sensitivity and pumped it full of steroids. Sometimes an obvious lack of humility presents itself as boastful, arrogant bragging, or even the not so sneaky version of the dreaded humble brag. But even more common, the more subtle forms of self-preoccupation, and this is where feminism comes in. Now, while both men and women exhibit arrogance and insecurity in their own ways, women have a specific way of expressing it. Feminism encourages a mindset that is hyper-aware and sensitive of calling attention to any personal offenses, and requires that the offended person's feelings take priority to the overall situation. This ideology causes people to see the worst in others' intentions and assumes malintent by default on the part of...
You heard that? She says you assume the worst intentions. You assume the worst intentions, meaning every man is going to try to harm you, hurt you. Have you ever listened to a debate and the woman starts to go into like, well, they're gonna hurt you, they can kill you, they can this and that, and I'm just like, where did you pull this out of from day one? Like, hello, you're a man, you can kill me. Hello, you're a man, you can cheat on me and beat me and rape. Like, are you kidding me? You think every single person is like that in society? Silly. So it just speaks to your trauma. It doesn't speak to anything else but the fact that you need help. Like, seriously, like, it's getting annoying. But if that's your life, if that's how you want to live, blaming other people for every single thing, if that's how you want to live, like, I'm a black woman, okay? I know that every white person's not racist. I know that. I also know what demographic thinks they're better than me. And I'm like, but I make more money than you. What are you talking about, right? I'm like, even if you make more money than me today, in like a couple months, a year, I'm gonna make more money than you. So you're a non-factor. Why do I care? And I'm like, y'all just mad. Y'all just trying to blame me. I'm the problem. The color of my skin bothers you so bad because you want to blame somebody. You want to be a victim. Only because you're projecting the fact that you made my people a victim. Anyway, I'm gonna let that go. But I can't go walk to hello, white person. You must be a racist. That's stupid. Come on. I'm always having the back of my mind. You're gonna have to prove to me. But if they are a genuine person, I'm gonna have a genuine conversation. Like, everywhere I go, I talk to everybody. It's not like, hey, I'm only gonna talk to women because I'm a feminist. Oh, I'm only gonna talk to black people because I'm black. No, I'm gonna talk to everybody. And if you have a great attitude, sometimes I be having the best conversations. I wish I could have them with my sisters, but I can't because they don't want to speak hi. Y'all want to say hi, and y'all don't want to smile. So I'm gonna go to the friendly people. That's how that's going to be. Have my stranger conversations for the day. But every man,
the offending party.
It's humongous law. Is that sexual harassment?
No, it's humongous.
Then why did you say that to me?
My name.
Did you hear what you said?
This ideology causes people to see the worst in others' intentions and assumes malintent by default on the part of the offending party.
It's humongous law. Is that sexual harassment?
No, it's humongous.
Then why did you say that to me?
My name.
It's humongous. You know how it feels like a skit, like it feels like a whole skit. So he basically said, "Yeah, it's humongous." She said, "If you're sexually harassing me," he said, "No, that's my name." OMG. Yes. All right.
I want to break apart my favorite example of a petty feminist gripe to show what I mean.
I love the mansplaining. I'm enjoying it.
You loving what?
The mansplaining that's going on.
What's
Or just talking me through how.
In this video, she has essentially done 3 things. 1, she's distracted from the original dispute, whatever that was. And 2, she assumed he intended to be insulting and basically accused him of.
Have you ever heard of some of these women when they're talking that the offense jumps? It like, hey, we're talking about apples, and then an orange pops up. They go straight to the orange, forgot all about the apples. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you the playbook. When you see it, you're gonna be like, Ruth, you were right. Distracted. Question never gets answered. That's why men are always saying yes or no. It's yes or no. Because they're trying to get an answer and they can't get no answer because you want to dance around it. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying sometimes it's critical that you answer the question and it looked like you're trying to hide something. Then it says assume his intentions and judge his character. So this is a really judgmental way to be.
Being a misogynist. 3, she countered perceived arrogance with even more arrogance.
You ain't never lied, sis. Even more arrogance. You see like men can be arrogant, right? So let me give you the this way it happened. This is how this all came together. So I posted something on my TikTok, and the man was saying something like, "When today's women don't know how to be feminine, right?" But honestly, it's true, right? We don't know how to be feminine. Like we're still learning things. Like I'll be out, and I'm like, "Ooh, I didn't know that." Like I figured it out on my own. Nobody was like, Today is feminine class. Although the world is teaching you how to be a man, how to X, Y, and Z, like they're teaching us success, individualism, worry about yourself, don't worry about anything. All of these masculine qualities. We only measure people on how much money they have, not how much love is in their heart, not how well they treat people, not how well they raise their kids. Do you think that we talk about kids at work? I had somebody say something, and I was just like, yeah, the numbers are the numbers, but I mean, I'm doing numbers at home. Like, what are my kids' grades? My daughter's at it's college on a scholarship. Like these are numbers to me that matter, and that's when it hit me. Like, oh, America does not promote these kind of values. So men that are looking for a wife, they're looking for something that nobody taught. You have to naturally get it. God will have to tell you. You had to find somebody that from yesteryear to teach it to you, or you just don't know. It's not that I'm mad at women. It's like we were not taught these things. We were not. But it doesn't stop men from expecting it. If we expect men to go out and work, provide, and protect for us, all the things of yesteryear, why don't we want to be feminine? Why don't we want to be submissive? Why don't we want to be all those things to match? Why? Because our arrogance say, "Hey Ty, how are you?" He says, "Hello there." Our arrogance says, you as a man, I'm entitled, I'm a woman. I was born, like I was kept like, why everybody's saying the same thing. Like they could be in different places and saying the same thing. So it gotta be the culture. I'm a woman, I have value. You're a man, you have no value. You're supposed to work for me. You're supposed to. It's all these supposed to when it comes to the men. Where's the supposed to when it comes to the women? You're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do that, and you're supposed to make sure he eats, and you're supposed to do this and that, and you're supposed to. Well, I had to go to work now. I got all of that. Work something out, but don't just be like, you're gonna pay all the bills. I'm gonna sit at home. I'm doing nothing. You go get a maid. You go get a cook, and I'm doing nothing. That kind of thinking is off. I don't know what to tell you. When you were single by yourself, paying all your bills, right? You think, oh my gosh, you so lucky to have me. You came and scooped me up from what I was doing. And you feel like no reciprocity is needed. How? And not until you sleep on somebody's couch and you have no way to pay for them and you gotta find a way to reciprocate. We will reciprocate for strangers, but the person that we say I love you to, we won't reciprocate to. Does that sound about right? Does that sound about like this is fair? It's not fair. But you're not looking at it from the other side's point of view. There's some issues I'm never going to agree with because I'm a woman. Like, you're on this side, sorry to tell you. Like, people are not going to give up their advantage. You think that if somebody inherited what the slaves worked hard for and their parents passed them on their land, the property, you think they say, you know what, black people, I'm just going to give you my land. I didn't deserve this. I didn't earn this. No, they're going to be like, this is your mine. I'm not giving up my advantage. That's our beef, right? They're not giving up their advantage. So women not giving up their advantage either. But at the same time, in certain things, but at the same time, that's more of a reason why you should be humble. That's more of a reason why you should let go of arrogance. What the Bible says, pride comes before the fall. What is the fall? The fall is a lot of people. Now the women are winning. This is the conclusion for the men. Women are winning now when they running their mouth and telling y'all ugly and saying you're broke and saying this and that. But when you go ahead and find yourself a wife, when you go ahead and be a passport bro, or when you find yourself a feminine, fit, and friendly woman in America, they're gonna be like jaw drop. Then they're gonna start hating and saying, like just some women. Some women are smart and they're like, you know what, let me get myself together. And other women are gonna be like, I bet you ain't gonna work out. I bet you, there's some bitter Bettys that I see and I'm like, there's no way you're even 25. How can you be so bitter? Like, I don't think I understand how overwhelming it is. It's like being a mixed kid. Like I'm in the world of like I'm a woman and I know what it's like to be a woman, but I also see what the men are going through and I'm going through it too. They being mean to me too. You think they just being mean to y'all? They being mean to women too. You see what I'm saying? There's a bunch of bitter Bettys and y'all not even 30. Like who raised you? That they're so mean and bitter and so they gravitate towards each other. And this is not all women, but it's a certain kind of woman. They gravitate towards each other and then they just mean mugging everybody in the world, but they're doing it at a young age. It's so sad. You can think of a lot of things, but one of the things you can think is
Because she's
feminine.
establishing that whenever a man has the gall to display knowledge of a subject, it is her right to demand that the attention be placed on her and her ego. How dare he assume that she not know everything that he does? And then,
How dare he? That's like if you met an expert. I run into this sometimes. How dare he assume that I don't know what he knows? You don't know everything. You can't know everything. It's too much to know. That's why you get experts so you could go right to where you need to be. So if he knows something about any area and he's filling you in, they don't do that with each other. Men are not just like, you can't tell me. Well, you know what the arrogant ones do? There are some men, they refuse to let anybody in the world tell them anything. And then they come back and they act like it's their idea. Y'all know some people like that, right? But we cannot be like that, ladies. We cannot be arrogant, closed off, inflexible, and not understanding like this is what the world will offer you: pride, arrogance. And guess what? You only playing yourself. There's an enemy out there who wants you to be miserable at the end of your life, and you had a chance. That's how you can be in chains, not knowing that you're free now. But you got to be a free thinker. You can't say everything every woman says. You can't do everything every woman does. I'm free. I'm free. You know what they teach us in the kingdom? Like, people think they're free to do what they want to do with drugs and alcohol and sex and all of that stuff. But what they don't understand, they're really in bondage. And that you have a freedom when you're in Christ that you can choose to get out of that life and it doesn't have a hold on you. If you drink a lot, you can become an alcoholic. If you smoke a lot, you can have cancer, even if y'all don't believe that. If you having premarital sex or you're sleeping with everybody, you can get diseases. It's always something tied to the other thing of sin. There's always something bad tied to the end. So God says, I'm trying to keep you from that. I'm not giving you rules and telling you that you can't do it. You can do whatever you want. But when you get caught up, know you did it to yourself. Stop getting caught up in all of these things that feel good. If it feels good, you need to sit back and take a back. Oh, it feels good to put men down. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. I always tell my kid, I'm like, if you see your teacher tripping, they need some power at home because they're on a power trip with y'all who can't do nothing. And it just don't really matter. So you just got to think that person got an issue. We have not been in power. Okay, I get it. But that doesn't make us an abuser. We can't be abusers. We can't use our arrogance to put other people down. We cannot use our position that society has propped us up in and look down on them and say, "Nan and a boo boo. Oh, I'm gonna be over here with my mimosas and I'm gonna be traveling the world. I don't need no man. I don't need no man." You ain't saved no money. You don't have nothing in retirement. You're not paying your debt down. What the heck do you think is going to happen? There's a collapse waiting to happen. All them student loan payments with your PhD is going to come due. You trying to pay them though? If you pay them off, then you can start. I'm debt free. Can y'all brag on being debt free, please? Because that's my next move, right? Can we brag on that versus I make such and such and such, but you ain't tell me how much your car payment was or your house payment was or all of these trips were costing and how much your bottom line, how much was your profit. You didn't tell me your accounting principles. You did not tell me this is the business that you started, this is what you invested. You did not tell me these are the real estate properties you're going to get. This is the portfolio. You went to class, you've gotten your strategy together, and this is how you're going to triple, double, 10 times, 100 times your money. Can't tell me that, can you? But I make 6 figures out. That is not everybody's 6 figures, it's yours. What will you do with it? It's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. So people are not impressed. They might act like they're impressed. They might hit the like button. Those people that hit the like button just want to sleep with you, boo. But you're killing your future by being so arrogant and you're putting it on your timeline. Oh, Lord, don't get started. Don't tell them that. This is why I took a break because I can't. They're putting on their timeline how stupid and arrogant they are. And this is not all women. Because if it was all women, I'd be one of them. Even posting yourself as a like your picture. There was a song. He's like, you ain't gotta. He's like, I looked at your IG and you don't have not one like on not one selfie. You know, you're healthy. Like you don't need them likes. Your self confidence is there. You don't need likes. That's what men see. They see you need likes. You need attention. This is why you have no clothes on. This is why you're wearing this. This is why you're doing that. And you need somebody to boost you up for the day. They can see right through it. And then you want to be arrogant and look down on them. Oh, because you look good. And 10 other guys are saying how fine you are. It's like all a mind game. I want to say a mind app.
This example pretty much sums up much of the feminist dialogue I have encountered. And this is why actual debate with feminists proves so difficult, if they will debate at all. Modern feminism is rooted in error.
When was the last time you heard a real debate between a feminist and anybody else? You don't hear no debate. All you hear is shaming. All you hear is, you did this and you're a man and you're bad. You're bad and you're a man. I'm sick of it. Like women that want to be, women that are marriage minded. I know a few women, they honor men, but some of them have still some things to work out. They just don't know what they're doing wrong. So give those women a chance to get themselves together, guys, because once they've done their work, once they have experience, Once God works on them, like, and this is why I say the key to all of this, if you want to change, work on your spirituality as a woman. You got to work on your feminine side and your spiritual side. If you do that, I'm not going to hold you. The main reasons why men find me attractive on the inside is all qualities God gave me. All qualities God gave me. If I'm kind, if I don't take revenge, if I'm doing all of these certain things, naturally, get out of here. Naturally, I'm gonna get you back. When I was young, I used to be like, I had to get like hit a time or two to be like, all right, ain't nobody no more now. I ain't crazy. I threw a phone one time. Like, I'm not naturally patient and kind and long suffering and all these things. But when you walk with God, you get to that point. You're like, all right, God. I mean, I told God the other day, I was like, God, I'm tired of paying the bill. You gonna pay this one. He found a way to pay it, child. I said, listen, I'm be over here, minding my business, doing what you told me to do, and you go ahead and pay that bill because I ain't doing that. I'm not on that level no more. And he sure enough did it. But you got to get to that point where you have a really close relationship with God, and you all of a sudden get attracted to a lot more men. They're like, whoa, what's that light in you? Whoa, what's that good part in you? That's the secret, lady. Go back to church or whatever religion you believe. Because I told my daughter too. I was like, listen, I mean, a Muslim women and Christian women have more alike than you think. We have a lot alike. When it comes to submission, and that woman really knows her stuff about how she's supposed to be with her man, we on point with it. But we have feminist Christians now, so we just gotta slot. Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, guys. Give me some time.
It assumes that most men are sexist and that women are inherently victims. It also assumes that the individual who is offended by a remark or anything else automatically...
Did you see what she said? She said the women assume that most men are sexist. Now, this makes so much sense. I used to think it was my job. That's how I know I've grown. It was my job to battle the men on a comment. Like, we're not gonna lose. We're not gonna lose. So that's what happened on my TikTok. I said the guy said most women are not feminine. I responded in the nicest feminine way I can. And every time I do that, I notice that men, they go out of their way to let me know how I am right. This other girl immediately went into attack mode. Let's act like this is the phone. And she was like, this is my response. You guys are trash. You guys are this and that. You guys are that and this. And it didn't go nowhere. It did not go nowhere. She just attracted other people that were negative, and they start going back and forth. Insults were traded. I don't know why that guy don't argue with these people. I was like, I don't know about y'all. I'm staying out of this one. And I was like, well, I mean, I see why people have controversial topics, because they was blowing up my comment. I was like, this is good for the algorithm. Okay, keep on arguing, right? I get it. I'm like, oh, my comments went from like 5 to 50. And I was like, ooh, but I don't want to see y'all fighting. They was calling each other all types of things. It was so ridiculous. But the arrogance of it all. And I get it, because men, like, I went to DMV today and the guy was like, do this, do that, do this, do that. He was a security guard. But he was a security guard that came out of watched the line grow. Every time the line grew, he came and picked some people out of the line, and he made life easier for everybody. He was being efficient. Y'all don't understand men. If you understand them, they're not going to worry about their tone. They're not going to worry about how they sound to you. They're going to be back, and give it to you just like that. As a feminine woman, we learn, the women that are excited to be feminine, we learn this being smooth with our talk and, oh, okay. The feminists not trying to hear that. Why should I change who I am? First of all, who made you that way in the first place? They groomed you to be aggressive, dominant, take over, this and that, a third. But you're still making 40K. Not to knock you. Or you're making 6 figures. Not to knock you. It's not a millionaire. It's not gonna make you the richest person in the world. And your money, for a man, their money, their prize is their money. That's their identity. For a woman, it's relationship. That's the part that women are not getting, is that our prize is relationships. It's not the fact that society tells us to get married and that's why we're married. No, it's because why are women going to school, getting a degree, becoming a lawyer, but they cannot keep lawyers because at age 30, the girls want to get married and go start their family. That is not society telling them they should get married. That is their own personal desire. And I am one of those people that says, I have 4 children, and I'm like, then somebody was like, you're not gonna have another baby, are you? I was like, yeah, I'm not married. She's like, oh, having a baby has nothing to. I don't know who told you that, but you don't need to be married to have a baby. I was like, yeah, I know that, but I am going to get married. I'm going to have a baby. And they're like, really? I said, yeah, I was made for this. They wasn't ready. They was. They weren't ready. They were not ready. These manly women were not ready, right? And I was like, yeah, I was made for this. You want to complain about your kids? Yeah, they're not easy, but they're blessings. I feel honored every single day. I see my gorgeous children doing well, thriving in life, despite what we go through. This is the best thing I've ever done. What are you talking about? I will have my career take a back seat in a hot minute. This is what's missing in our society. We need to start putting our kids, our mission, our purpose. This is the next generation. When you're not here, it's going to be your kids. So you're really going to neglect your kids. They're going to have all types of problems. And then you left the world the worst place and not a better place. Have you ever seen a hood booger have a baby and she acting real hood boogerish? I don't know why. Sorry, guys. Well, I don't even say that, right? But the baby's acting just like her and the baby twerking. You're like, no, we don't need more of those. We don't. Which family twerking, Ruth? Don't even start with me all today. But to say that your kid is, they know how to handle themselves, they know how to pick friends, they know how to do all of these things. That's an honor. I get to affect the world and make it a better place. A man gets to work and put his skill into the world and make it a better place. I was telling one guy, I was like, you a chef, and I said, when you make that food better than, like, he was like complaining about going into work. I was like, you can go ahead and feed all these people, and they can have the best meal ever, and they can go out there and work harder than they ever have, and look what you just did for society. He was like, oh, I like that. I was like, that shows you need a girlfriend, right? He's like, yeah, duh. Oh, that was crazy. So yeah, next thing you know, he had some girl on his arm. Like the next week, it was too funny. But yeah, if that was a stranger, imagine when you're in a relationship. But it's just like we have to understand our value, what we leave here, what we're doing here. If you know your purpose and you know that you'll feel better when you're relating to people. I love starting and doing the show. I love when y'all talk back to me. I love having this interaction with you. I love letting you know how I feel, because when I have those one-on-one conversations with the women and they're like, Ruth, I watched the show. I said, do you agree or disagree? I agree. And guess what? All the girls that agree either are in a relationship, about to get married, about to get proposed to, or are married. Now, when you're single with your single mindset, what I'm saying to you is French. You don't understand what I'm saying. I'm talking jibber jabber. I'm a hater. I'm this, I'm that. But that's not really what it is. And that's why men agree with me, because they want to be in a relationship. They want to be in a relationship, so they know what is they know how to switch that stuff off and say, you know what, I want this, I want that for my relationship. They dream of having a quality woman in their life too, just like we dream of having our quality man in our life. They want that. They have a vision for what they want. That's why they're so picky, and they're not just marrying anything. If they were not picky, then they would be married, all of them. Let me go back to my point.
It becomes more important than any other fact involved in the situation. And to most of you, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but I think if we can put a name on the specific problem, hubris, that's being encouraged in feminist women, hopefully many will start to have more self-awareness about their being encouraged.
All right, hubris is excessive pride or self-confidence, arrogant, conceit. Yeah, say we conceited. Haughtiness, hauteur, pride, self-importance, egotism, pomposity, superciliousness, superiority, more excessive pride towards the defiance of God's leading to nemesis. Okay. Pride comes before the fall. Just remember that.
Feminist women. Hopefully, men will start to have more self-awareness about their true motivations when they're demanding safe spaces, discriminating towards men, and claiming victimhood and oppression.
Side note, black men never oppressed anybody. Side note, stop adopting other people's struggle. We have enough. Black men never ran the spaces that we are in now. So stop saying that there's a patriarchy. Oh no. Let me know if you can hear me. My audio messed up. Wow. Can y'all hear me still? All right. Yeah. So yeah, all that patriarchy stuff, like, really do your research because, man, I know it feels like it. But come on, stop.
And I don't necessarily blame feminist ideology for
There's a patriarchy, but you go to a white man's job, and then you don't. That's not the patriarchy.
creating oversensitive women. Hashtag not all. Actually, it makes perfect sense. As I said in my previous video, it seems that women truly are more sensitive to criticism and requiring a positive affirmation. I see this as an unfortunate tendency of my gender, but I do not think that every woman is destined to become an insecure and arrogant feminist because of this. However, I do think that feminists have taken this tendency of women to be oversensitive and needing of positive feedback, and they've justified it as a valid, fact-based evidence to oppression.
I don't know if you guys have been following how long, but I came to the conclusion that we are naive and sensitive to influence. We are sensitive to influence of a positive or negative nature. So when it's everything and everybody and all this stuff, um, like if let's say I have a hairstyle, it will be so many women are more likely to copy hairstyles and copy clothes and copy this and that from other women than men are going to be like that. That's one thing I admire about men. They have their own style. Like they all don't fall into, oh, I'm getting this kind of that. Yeah, there's some people that dress a certain way, but y'all not copying every single thing. Nah. And guys that do that, no thank you.
Experience becomes truth.
Hey, Belinda.
This movement elevates and encourages some of the natural temptations to act in an emotionally immature manner and elevates them as a virtue instead of what they are, character flaws. This is not to put down women. And of course, not all women are oversensitive. And I know that character flaw can seem pretty harsh, but everyone has them. And these traits in particular can cause problems in relationships, with anxiety, personal development, and even self-control. And I'm aware that men have their own specific type of pride and arrogance and insecurity as well. I think that feminists have done enough shitting on men in the current year, so I will leave them to it. While I personally don't want to become more arrogant and insecure and cause myself to be more of a jerk to men than I already have in my life, feminists seem to have no problem with it. They hear a condescending statement from a man, tell him about it, and then nag him for attempting to educate you on something you already know.
Wait, I forgot to tell y'all the rest of the story, right? So the guy was like, the same guy that was like, I think he said women don't know how to be feminine, right? He went on and explained how there were a couple women in his life that were feminine, that still were bosses or whatever. And then what happened? I had it. What happened? It just was like, dang it. Wait, feminine. Oh, it's gonna come to me. Hold on. Dang. All right. Maybe if it's
Life, feminists seem to have no problem with it. They hear a condescending statement from a man, tell him about it, and then nag him for attempting to educate you on something you already know. See a man check out a woman?
There you go. Got it. So he said that testosterone, okay? I didn't even know this. He said testosterone in women causes breast cancer. They came with the what book did you get that from and all of this other stuff. So I went and looked it up myself. So that just proved everything right then and there. Like, wait, you he said a new fact. Instead of being open and you go check it out yourself, prove yourself, prove yourself. Where did you get that from? It's silly. It's getting ridiculous. So um that was unfortunate, but I found out that is true. You increase your risk for breast cancer when you have too much testosterone. We've done shows where we're like, this is you need to elevate your estrogen. That's why, huh? Let me PSA this, okay? Women, if your testosterone is too high, then you increase the risk of getting breast cancer. And men, increase the risk if they have too much estrogen, then they increase a risk of their risk for prostate cancer. Back to the women. Women, if you don't learn to be feminine, it can kill you. If you don't learn how to care for yourself and cause you to have more estrogen, the ways we were talking about estrogen, like increasing your estrogen, is connecting in relationships and hugging somebody. And it was a whole list. I did a whole show about it, right? And if you're talking about I'll be by myself, I'll be by myself, there's a thing that I realized, like when you retire, if you stop working, you ain't got that long to live. You keep talking about you're gonna be by yourself. I don't know how long you're gonna make it. Cause you need human interaction. That's why people can't stay in solitude. Solitary confinement, they can't stay there because they need to touch humans. So why would you think that I'm gonna die alone is a good plan? Well, guess they gonna be out there and guess I'm be by myself. And you all stay over there and I stay over here and I'm happy that way. That's great. Until it causes health problems. I'm just telling you what the research is like. If we wasn't talking research, then you can be mad, but I'm just saying. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Or play a video game with attractive female characters? Then you should feel offended on behalf of all women, because if it was you being ogled at, you certainly would hate it. Who would want to be aesthetically pleasing to men anyway? Definitely not
Right.
you, right? So back to humility. So the opposite and the antidote of hubris is humility. And like I said before, humility is not the act of deflecting compliments, putting yourself down, or letting people disrespect you. Instead, psychologist Pelin Kesseber puts it this way. Humility involves a willingness to accept the self's limits and its place in the grand scheme of things, accompanied by low levels of self-preoccupation. In Kesseber's study about accompanied by low levels of self's limits and its place.
It says humility involves a willingness to accept the self limits and its place in the grand scheme of things, accompanied by low levels of self preoccupation. I don't know if I said this before, but let's start with this first part. Involves willingness to accept. Oh gosh, willingness to accept self limits. I was on mute. Sorry, guys. Um, so there was a little phrase that we used to have. They used to have. It says, "No, a woman should know her place." Right? And no woman want to hear that, right? But at the same time, once they dispel the myth that women can't beat a man, like the movies, like I was so upset when I was like, why y'all make me feel like I could beat these men up? And I can't. They said for the toughest MMA fighter, okay? The toughest MMA fighter can barely beat the average man. Maybe she could beat him, but he's gonna put up a heck of a fight. But basically, the average guy can can take down the most dangerous woman. Okay, the average guy can take down the most dangerous woman. Accept the limits. That physically you're not that strong. It's okay. It's okay. Once you start saying like I'm not gonna fight nature, I'm not gonna fight things. That's like fighting the fact that you're gonna pass away one day. You're going to. You can be mad about it, but it's gonna happen. Go ahead and try to freeze yourself like the rich people. Good luck with that. All right, and the place is and its place in the grand scheme of things. Accept your limit and accept your place in the grand scheme of things. Just like I said, um, we women can do anything that men do. But why? But why? Why should we do it? But why? Yes, I can work as hard as you. I can work for the rest of my life, but why? If I have an option to get out, that's like saying, okay, we're going to pay you the same paycheck for the rest of your life. You can work you can work that job every day, or you can go home today and still collect the money. That's what being a woman is like. I'm not saying for every woman. That's like stay-at-home wife. It's like, hey, my husband goes to work and he works for us, the both of us, and we get to split the money. We get to share it. Men don't have that option. And the last part was low levels of self preoccupation. Man, child, I just like I had to remember, like, I work so, like, always working, always doing something, always helping somebody. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm cute. Look at that. That's good. Okay, back to real world. Because what's that going to do? It's not going to do nothing. You hype because of something that God gave you. Why? Why you do that? Huh? Why you do that?
In the grand scheme of things, accompanied by low levels of self-preoccupation. In Kessler's study about humility, or as she calls it, the quiet ego, she finds 8 major benefits of having a quiet ego or being humble. They are soothing the soul, which is mostly referring to alleviating anxiety about mortality and success, better relationships, better work performance, higher grades, more helpful, higher self-control, and less prejudice. Or I could spend many videos on each of these topics.
So for me, I like humble men. And a lot of men have a problem with that once they make the money. So for me, the humility has to be there. And if it's too much of that arrogance, I can't do it because it's not here. You ain't gonna find it here. Am I confident? That's when that peak, that little slice comes out, pop out. Oh, I know who I am. Hold on. But it's not like all day thing. I'm gonna put myself before you or above you, and you're below me, beneath me, and this and that and the third. Come on, cut it out.
The last 2 are the ones I want to focus on, as it directly relates to feminism and the entire social justice culture. Firstly, according to Kessler's study on the quiet ego, she states that self-control, or the ability of the self to override one response to substitute a more adaptive alternative, is a particularly important outcome variable. It is a key to success in various life domains, and failures at it are associated with a plethora of problems, from violence and crime to addiction, from unwanted pregnancies to obesity. But I found the humility equals less prejudice conclusion to be fascinating. Basically, Kessler finds that those who have a quiet ego are less likely to feel that they are owed things or entitled. They don't see themselves as any more deserving of attention, privileges, or sympathy. This causes them to feel more tolerant and less defensive about their views or feelings. So my overall point here is that feminism is helping dial up women's natural arrogance and insecurities up to 11. And now those character flaws, yes, they are flaws, that are most likely going to affect their lives negatively, by the way, they're being validated by universities, media, male feminists, and social activists.
Woo.
Demanding that everyone take notice about how important you and your problems are is not going to make you happy. And it definitely isn't going to make...
Have you seen an influx of women getting online crying and demanding everybody care? You should care. I'm crying. The day I said, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and cry anymore. Like I said, I don't cry. But I'm never going to cry to a man to get my way. It's not about me. It's not about my feelings, emotions, my tears. That's the day I grew up, probably. I'm like, it ain't going to do nothing. The tears are tears of entitlement. I got to wrap it up. This was so good.
People genuinely sympathize with you or want to be around you. So I encourage everyone, not just feminists, to try to make humility a goal for their own happiness, so that you're more enjoyable to be around.
Yes.
And because I have mastered the art of being more humble than anyone else, I like to show you all how it's done.
She said, I mastered the art of being more humble than anyone else. When you say stuff like that, that is not humble.
My ego is something I struggle with almost constantly. But of the humble people I do know, these are things that I have tried to emulate from them. And maybe if we all did a few more of these things, we could actually have conversations about feminism where no one got their feelings hurt and cried, you know, like a girl. So 1, accepting limitations. Yeah, I mentioned in my first feminism video that I made an honest assessment of what I was good at and what I sucked at. And I finally felt free. This includes learning how to say I'm sorry and I was wrong occasionally as well. 2, being grateful for what you have. For this context specifically, it means realizing how many benefits there are to being a woman and how lucky you are to live where you do and that there are actually great men out there.
Yeah.
3,
That's good.
don't be a conversational narcissist. If you consistently make it a goal to be interested in the person you're talking with, you will find your brain will habitually become less concerned about impressing other people, showing how oppressed you are, or virtue signaling about how much you care about the oppression of others. But the overall theme here is to recognize our general place and importance in the world, honestly. And yes, all life has value, but having perspective of how big the world is and where you fit in it, and try not to exaggerate it, leads to a generally happier life.
That's why people always say when they come from traveling that they realize the world was bigger than them. That's so good. They realize that the world is this big place and they're just 1 out of 7 billion people. How dare I think I'm so much more better? You can find it in nature. You can go to the ocean and realize how small you are and how big the ocean is. God made it so that we can be humbled easily if we tried. So you want to wait? We were talking about this on Ruth in the Bay. Yeah, yesterday, right? And we were like, and that could be found on Ruth Marquis group on YouTube. So we were like, what I'll say, I forgot what I was talking about. Ding, 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 ding. It was good. It was good. But anyway, we just was like, stop being entitled and start doing the work. Show your work. Your confidence is going to come from you doing things that, like, I feel like some people get a job, or I think that some people get a job just for the prestige. They don't want the job that will still pay them good money or even more money if it doesn't have the prestige with it. And so they're working on things that make them look good on the outside and they can brag about, but the things on the inside they refuse to work on. That's what keeps them back. That's what holds them back. And if you just work on the things on the inside of you, you'll have confidence and not arrogance. The arrogance is because you know you ain't it. I'm like, you know you ain't it. You know it. It is on a subconscious level, you know you ain't it. I mean, y'all just seeing the light bulb moment. That's it. You know you ain't it. That's why you hating on somebody else. That's why you putting it down. That's why. And then these men is like, then you get mad and jealous because the man, oh, he making 6 figures and he got all. I can make 6 figures. Why all the guys ain't running after me to marry me? And meanwhile, the guy making the 6 figures, he got all these women lined up. And that's what they said. They said the women are jealous of the men, but the men can do that. They can run to whoever they want. Like at some point, what did she say? Learn your limitations. Humble yourself. Right? Those guys have an advantage, but you also have an advantage called being a woman. And you don't take it and beat it over somebody's head. You just appreciate and be content and have gratitude that you ain't come into this world as a man. I used to be one of those people like, well, I couldn't be a boy. It's not right. Boys can do everything. Now I'm like, no. God, you made the right move. Yes, you did. You made the right move. For those of y'all that want to get into this changing of the gender at a young age, you might regret it. You might want to think it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching Ruth and Relationships. Ruth and Relationships. Tell me, can you handle it? It's the Ruth and Relationship Show. Let me know what you think below. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Bye. Like the video. Like. Have a good night. Bye.